Welcome to my YouTube channel Wise Whispers, where silence speaks.
My name is Louis and I am 64 years old. I never thought the day would come when my own son would look at me not as a father but as a bank account. It all started on a quiet Sunday afternoon. I was sitting in my old armchair, the same one my late wife used to tease me about, saying I'd never replace it no matter how worn it got. The house was peaceful, filled with memories, until the doorbell rang. When I opened it, there stood my son Daniel and his wife Clara. They walked in without much greeting, their faces unusually serious. "Dad, we need to talk," Daniel said. Something in his tone made my chest tight. We sat down in the living room. Clara pulled out a folder and placed it neatly on the table like she was presenting a business proposal. I tried to smile, but something felt off. "Dad," Daniel began, "we found the perfect house." "That's great," I replied, genuinely happy for him. "I hope it works out for you." Quickly added, "It's worth $2.5 million, a luxury place, perfect for raising a family." I nodded slowly. "That's quite expensive." Then Daniel looked straight into my eyes and said something that froze me. "We want you to buy it for us." For a moment I thought I had misheard him. "Buy it for you?" I asked quietly. Clara said confidently, "You've saved all your life, what's the point if not to help your son?" Her words stung more than she probably realized. I took a deep breath. "Daniel, I have savings, yes, but that money is for my future, for my medical needs, for security. I'm not a millionaire." Daniel's face hardened. "So you're saying no?" "I'm saying I can't," I replied gently. "What happened next still hurts to remember," Clara scoffed. "Unbelievable, after everything we've done for you." I looked at her, confused. "What have you done for me?" Daniel stood up abruptly. "We visit you, we include you in our lives, and this is how you repay us." I felt my heart sink. "Love is not a transaction, son." They weren't listening anymore, their voices grew louder. The warmth in the room disappeared, replaced by tension and bitterness. I stood up, trying to calm things down. "Please, let's not fight over this," I said, but Daniel stepped closer, anger written all over his face. In the heat of the moment, he pushed me slightly back. It wasn't a violent shove, but it was enough to break something inside me. I stumbled a little, grabbing the armchair to steady myself. The same chair my wife once sat in, the same home we built with love. And in that moment I realized something painful. I wasn't losing money, I was losing my son. Silence filled the room. Daniel seemed to realize what he had done, but his pride didn't let him apologize. Clara grabbed his arm. "Let's go," she said coldly, and just like that they walked out. The door closed, and with it a chapter of my life. Days turned into weeks. No calls, no messages. The house felt emptier than ever before. But in that silence I began to think clearly. I had spent my entire life working hard, saving every penny, sacrificing my own desires, all for my family. But somewhere along the way, love had been replaced by expectation. And expectation had turned into entitlement. One morning I made a decision. Instead of holding on to everything for people who didn't value me, I decided to live for myself. I started small. I renovated the house a little, not to increase its value, but to bring back warmth into it. I planted flowers in the garden, something my wife used to love. Then I did something even bigger. I created a small fund to help underprivileged children in my community. Education, food, basic needs, things that truly mattered. For the first time in years I felt at peace. Months later there was another knock on the door. I opened it and there stood Daniel. He looked different, tired, humbled. "Dad," he said softly. I didn't say anything. I just stepped aside and let him in. We sat down in the same living room, but this time the air was different. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice trembling. "I don't know what got into me. I was selfish and I hurt you." I looked at him for a long moment. "Why did you come back?" I asked calmly. He lowered his gaze. "Because I realized I was about to lose the most important person in my life." Again, then I spoke. "I can forgive you, Daniel, but I won't forget what happened. Respect is something you must rebuild." Filled his eyes. "I understand. Didn't fix everything that day, but it was a start, and sometimes a start is enough." Moral of the story: love should never be measured in money. True relationships are built on respect, gratitude, and understanding, not demands and entitlement. When people forget your value as a person and only see your worth in wealth, it's okay to step back and choose your own peace.